Hey everyone, this is Supersonic Boom, and today I am coming at you with a video about that new Nintendo NX reveal. Except it's not actually the NX anymore, it's called the Nintendo Switch. So I'm just going to basically dissect that trailer and tell you about it, and what my opinions are. So it looks like they're going for an older audience with the NX. Not really kids, not so much families. I didn't actually see any kids or families, really. It's more after groups of teens, young adults. It is for everybody, obviously, by the games they chose to include. But yeah, it looks like it's dedicated to an older audience, and I like that because they haven't really been targeting that. So I like the serious look, and I love that it has such an easy to understand concept. For those that don't know, it is basically a home console. However, if you want, you can instantly pick up a screen from that is attached to a home base, and you can take that screen with you wherever you go, and basically play any game mobily. So that's fantastic. I like how it has such an easy to understand concept, just like the original Wii did, and unlike the Wii U did. The Wii U, you sort of had to really explain it to people. A lot of people still don't really understand it. And, sorry, it's hard to play Splatoon at the same time. But, yeah, it's just, you have a home console. Now you can take it with you wherever you want. That's it. That's the gimmick. It's super useful. Hold on. Gotta kill these guys. It was a bad idea to play this. So it has 3 modes that I could identify. You've got your home mode, where it's attached to the base, and reportedly through leaks, it's going to be more powerful when it's attached to that home base. That home base has some additional graphical capabilities, so when you're attached to it, the games are going to look better and run smoother, apparently, according to the leaks, which most of the rest of them were right, so I have no reason to doubt it. The second mode that it has is going to be the handheld mode, where you can basically take that screen off. It has little controllers on the screen. It's like a Wii U gamepad, basically. A sleeker, nicer looking Wii U gamepad. And so you can take that with you on the go and do whatever you want. The other mode is like a travel mode. And so basically you flip a little kickstand on the NX or the Switch, and you set it down, and then you can actually pull off the sides of that screen and use those as 2 little mini controllers. They're kind of reminiscent of Nintendo Wii controllers, except they're black, they're small. So it's gonna be, it'll have a kickstand, and you'll be able to use the side controllers. So that's really cool. And then the other mode that I saw was the on-the-go mode, the on-the-go multiplayer mode. And there was a little car accessory that they hooked it up to, where they put the screen onto the back of a seat. They detached those controllers, and each person used one for Mario Kart. So, and I'm not sure which Mario Kart it was that they were playing, but it looked fun. So those were the 3 kind of modes or uses that I saw for it. I do wonder if that car adapter is going to be one of the things that's included in the rumored bundle that we heard some stuff about in the last few days. There's supposedly a base model, and then there's a more expensive bundle, and I'm wondering if it comes with extra controllers and probably that car accessory, because that looks like something a lot of people, especially with kids or just people that ride shotgun all the time, will want to have. So let's see. It looks like there were a couple different controller options. There's basically the one that the guy was using in the beginning, and that's made up of the 2 mini controllers and like a centerpiece that looks like it has a kind of touchpad on it, like the touchpad on a PS4 but bigger. I don't know if it is a touchpad. I would be really surprised if it wasn't. So you've got that controller. It also had a Pro controller. It looked very, very similar to the Wii U Pro controller, except for it had inverted buttons and analog sticks on the right side. So on the Wii U Pro controller, you have your buttons on the bottom and you have your analog stick up top. Makes sense, feels good. But on the Nintendo Switch, it's flipped, both on the normal traveling screen mode and then on the Pro controller too. So there's that. So you have the Pro Controller, you have the main screen controller, you have the mode where you can detach those mini controllers and use them one in each hand. You have where you can just use one of the mini controllers and somebody else uses the other one. So that's really, really cool. It does look like it has continued Amiibo support, which is good. Amiibo was really big and successful for Nintendo, even if it was just based on my sales alone because I bought so many of them. The games that they showed off were Zelda, Skyrim, Mario Kart. I don't know which one it was. It could have been a remastered port of something else, or it could be Mario Kart 9. I'm thinking it's probably Mario Kart 9. And they showed off an NBA game, which is good that they're getting more into the sports game market because I actually have been working at a GameStop for some time, and sports games are actually pretty big. I had no idea before I worked there, but yeah, a lot of people don't really care about anything other than the sports games. So I'm glad that they're not alienating that audience. That's a good thing. The other thing was a 3D Mario, and that 3D Mario looked pretty cool. I'll talk about that a little bit later. And then the other game was Splatoon 2. Maybe it was a port for the NX. I'm not sure. But it was there. And all these games are going to be on cartridges. And I really like that because they're small, they're easy to use, easy to maintain, and then also generally they have a lot faster load times than discs. So that's great. It all contributes to this whole ease of use, fast, simple to understand concept that the Nintendo Switch is going for. So I like the cartridges. One thing I noticed was that when it showed the console in its home base mode, where it's got more powerful graphics probably, and it's just attached to your TV, is that there were little holes on the side of it. They looked like they could have been they looked about the size of like a GameCube memory card hole. So maybe those are for extra controller ports, memory cards, maybe that's where additional cartridges can go. I really don't know. They're kind of a mystery at this point. So the things I liked about the Wii U, it's got really good marketing so far. It's simple to understand. Everybody can get it right out of the box, what's going on, just like the original Nintendo Wii. And it sort of feels like what the Wii U should have been. So the Wii U's cool and all. It's like, oh, I can take my game on the gamepad most of the time, not even all of the time. And I can walk like 30 feet away and play. That's really useful. That's really cool. Not really. It's sort of limiting. But this seems like what the Wii U really should have been the whole time. So I'm very excited for that. It's just, I think it's going to be pretty successful for them. It's not called like the Wii U 2 or like the Wii U with an accent above it, like you would have expected from their naming schemes with new Nintendo 3DS and Wii U and all these games that just don't tell you about what the system is or what it can do. But, yeah, Nintendo Switch. It's just a great name. It's got some great marketing so far. That little click sound. That was a horrible impression, but it's got a little click sound, and it shows this little logo, and I think that's going to become parodied, iconic. Like, already. It's just stuck in my head. I plan on putting it at the beginning of this video, actually. Or maybe I won't, because I don't want to edit this. I just want to upload it. So, yeah. All of the marketing looks really good. I like the mix of games. You've got Skyrim, you've got sports games, and you've got the classic Nintendo games. Love it. And I love how it's such an original concept. Nobody else is really doing this. You can do like some remote play on your PlayStation Vita and stuff. Xbox has, I think, some tablet kind of stuff, but none of it is fully realized. It requires additional stuff. This is what the console is built for from the beginning. Right out of the box, you're going to be able to do this. I think that's a great thing. My hopes for it, the Nintendo Switch, are that it has Wii U support. It didn't look like it had a disk drive anywhere on it. And so I'm going to be pretty bummed if that is the last we see of backwards compatibility in Nintendo consoles, because I always have praised them for that. I like being able to play my Wii games on my Wii U, my GameCube games on my Wii, my DS games on my 3DS. That backwards compatibility is something that I've always praised them for. So I hope we see some kind of Wii U support. I hope we see pressure-sensitive triggers on like the Pro Controller options. because I don't like how they're just buttons on the current Wii U Pro controller. I prefer the GameCube, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation of controllers that have depressing triggers. I think they should bring those back. Small thing, but also really hope they have it. I hope it's powerful enough. All the rumors have been saying that it's not going to be as powerful as even the base model of like the PS4 or the Xbox One. And those are coming out with new iterations. So it's definitely not going to be as powerful as those. But then at the same time, the concept is different enough. The Wii U isn't different enough to justify how less powered it is, in my opinion. It sort of stands in direct competition to the Xbox One and the PS4. It's not really doing anything different, so people see that it has less power and they judge it based on that. But PS4 and Xbox One aren't doing this really, really cool mobile thing. So I think the Nintendo Switch can actually afford to be less powered. I hope it's not too underpowered, but it can afford it if it is. Let's see, what else? I hope it has really good battery life. The original model of the 3DS didn't have great battery life. The gamepad, it's okay. It's all right. But I hope this has really great battery life because it's, again, such a great concept. And it's something I would use like all the time. I would bring it with me, use it on breaks. It's just cool. Another thing is I really hope they have media support for like songs, pictures, movies. Whenever they showed him setting it up on the airplane, this man in the reveal trailer, I thought he was going to plug in his headphones and watch a movie. And I was like, oh, that's cool. People aren't going to want to carry around a big old tablet and this, so maybe it can replace their tablet. Maybe they'll be able to watch movies, listen to their music. But he was playing a game, and that's also really cool and understandable why they wanted to show that off. But I really hope it supports, because I know it has the capability to, movies and TV shows and music. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the Mario game. It looks like it could be Galaxy 3. Now, they showed off a triple jump in it, so you know it's going to be a little different than Mario 3D World. It's going to be more of that mainstream console Mario experience. I think that's what they were trying to show from that triple jump and stuff. The world looked kind of Mexico-inspired. It was really neat. And I saw a big old moon in it. And that's why I'm sort of wondering if it is Mario Galaxy 3. Another thing is there were golden rings. They looked like they might have been rotating. I paused the video and checked it out. But they looked very reminiscent of Sonic the Hedgehog. So I'm not sure what that was about. But yeah, there's golden rings in the new Mario. Some more hopes I have for it is that the esports thing is successful. It looked like they were going for that pretty hard. They showed a stadium filled with cheering people and like a team of Splatoon competitors. I hope that becomes a reality. I can see it just sort of dropping the whole esports angle because I think just the base concept is enough. I think that's going to be. But if the esports thing is successful, cool. Sign me up. I'd like to play Smash Brothers. And then I had a couple criticisms about the Wii U, things that I wasn't too sure about or that I hope they improve. So one of those is that reverse controller that I was talking about, where the analog stick is on top of the buttons. And I sort of flipped around my Pro controller and tested it out, and it does feel weird. Maybe if they make the analog stick shorter so that your like palm doesn't run into it when you're using it, that might help. I don't know. It looks funky in practice. I guess I'll just have to wait until I try it. Now, I understand why they did that. And it's so when you detach the controllers from the side, and you're using it for multiplayer, like for when they were playing Mario Kart in the car, both people have the same setup. They both have an analog stick on the left side and buttons on the right side. If it was a normal setup, one of the people would have to have like a reverse control scheme. I mean, they could flip it upside down, I guess, but that would be weird. So I understand why they're doing that, but I'm not sure how it's going to pan out. Another thing was that the mobile footage that they showed looked really poor. And it's not like they were recording the screen directly. And I'm talking about when they were showing the Zelda footage, when he unplugged it from the TV and he was taking it on the go. it's not like that was recorded directly on the screen. Like, they had to composite that into that shot. So I don't know why they chose such poor looking footage. It was running at a very low frames per second. It looked a little laggy. I really hope that was just some kind of mistake and not what it's actually going to be like. So they definitely should have chosen some better footage for that, or just made the console more powerful, if that's the case. Another small criticism was the home mode design. I love the whole look of this console, the Switch. It just looks older. It looks more professional. It doesn't look as childlike. I just really like it. It's sleek. It's smooth. Hold on, let me kill this guy. It's sleek. It's smooth. It's cool. But I don't love how the the Nintendo Switch screen goes in between two little walls. Like, the home base is like this kind of U-shaped thing, and the screen goes in the middle of it whenever you attach it. I don't know why just a normal dock wouldn't work. Like, the Wii U has a charging dock. It could have been similar to that. And it looks just a little weird up on your shelf with that screen going between two parts. But that's about it. And that's really not a big deal. That's easily dealable with. But yeah, no real criticisms. I don't know. It looks really good. It looks really fun, and it looks like there's a heck of a lot of applications that you're going to be able to put this thing into use for. So I am very excited about the Nintendo Switch, and I can't wait to get one and play it. So thanks for watching, and I'll